welcome to another episode of Memphis on the Mark. I am thrilled that you're here with me, and today we have a very special guest, actress Rosalyn Ross.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
I'm very happy to be here.
Good. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, thank you.
You have done a lot of acting in Memphis, a lot of short films. You were
Yeah.
very kind to be in one or two of my short films.
I had a great time, Mark.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad one of us did. But you've been in some feature films.
Yeah.
And earlier, before the show started, you were talking about its pilot season.
Yeah, it's pilot season, so it's that time we actors love where we have the opportunity to get in the running for being on a regular series with 22 episodes somewhere on network television.
Wow.
Or 10 episodes on Netflix or some streaming service. But yeah, so it's that time of the year.
And you no longer, it used to be everyone went to most everyone went to Los Angeles, a few went to New York, but you did neither.
No, I didn't either. So now, thanks to technology, you can self-tape at home or in your agent's office. And you know, there are advantages and disadvantages to that. Certainly, I don't know if I'd have the opportunity if that wasn't allowed, because I don't live in LA.
Right.
Which there would have been a time where you had to show up in LA somewhere, and that was your one chance. But now you can tape at home. But you also miss out on the opportunity to have notes from the casting director who sort of guides you to a place with the character. But even then, you make your choice as an actor and just cross your fingers and hope for the best.
Right, and a lot of the shows, not every show is shot in Los Angeles or New York.
No, you know, Atlanta is #1 in production now.
That is
Number
crazy.
one in production in the world. Like 99% of what you see on television or in a theater is shot in Atlanta, Georgia.
That is really nuts.
Yeah, so everything I have, with the exception of one show, a show called Mindhunter, which is on Netflix, which is brilliant, actually. But everything I've auditioned for is actually shot and made in Atlanta.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 1965, 1970, Memphis, Atlanta are pretty equal, probably.
Yeah.
And then, boom.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was something, with Tyler Perry, which oddly enough,
Sure.
single-handedly, like when he made his transition to film, sort of changed the landscape of how people saw Atlanta as an opportunity to produce films there. So he was a darling of the city and given many incentives to create this huge soundstage and production company, which he did. And has now turned it into like one of the more viable opportunities to shoot on a soundstage in the country.
And it's not just his work.
It's not just his work. No, it's broadened across to, BET has offices there, TV1, but all of the major networks. One of the shows I auditioned for is going to end up probably on NBC and is produced by, an Oscar-winning director.
Wow.
But I think it's something about his early vision for what could be done there sort of drew a lot of attention to what could happen in Atlanta. And so now almost everything happens in Atlanta.
That's great. And I know Graceland sort of either has a soundstage or is going to build a new soundstage.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's exciting,
Yeah.
and they've got some of their Hallmark movies.
Yes.
Were you in the Hallmark movie last year?
Oh man, that's a heartbreaker. So, and I don't normally get my heart broken about stuff I don't get, but I auditioned for, of course, Kelly Pickler was the lead, and I auditioned to be her best friend, which was a lead role.
Right.
And got all the way down to executive producer meetings, and they chose someone from Atlanta.
Right. Oh my gosh.
They chose a girl from, which I'm rooting for her, and I'm glad that it did well. Like now they're all hype about coming and shooting.
Oh, they're going to shoot two here
some
now.
more stuff.
They really are.
Yeah, so that worked out for all the cast. So congratulations to them.
Congratulations.
But that one really broke my heart. I have to say, it took me about a month to get past
to be that close.
To be that close, yeah.
And I guess if there's one saving grace is you did not have to wear winter clothes, and it was in the high 90s when they were shooting here.
Oh my gosh, it was. I remember showing up at the audition, having to get there maybe 20 minutes early because I was sweating so bad. Like I had to go and just cool myself down, like splash cold water on my face, and then reset my makeup before even walking in to the in-person audition. It was that hot that week.
Oh yeah, it was.
And I think I was down to the wire, like, and then they, and then they made the decision, and then they started shooting the next
Right.
week. Yeah.
Well, it was July 2018 was extremely hot, and
Yeah.
August too. But it was really kind of weird. They took 5 or 6 houses on both sides of the streets and snowed them all.
Yeah, I
made it all
remember seeing
snow.
that.
Yeah.
Seeing the set design. It was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But you were in a movie that I saw called Columbus,
Yes.
and it took place in Columbus,
Yes.
Ohio.
Yes. Oh, Columbus, Indiana.
Columbus, Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Indiana.
No.
It's Columbus.
It's a little town, apparently. with
Beautiful architecture,
beautiful
historic
architecture. Yeah.
architecture.
Yeah.
How did being in Memphis, how did you get the role in that film?
I have an agent that represents me regionally, and she's out of Nashville. And fortunately, because Columbus is like 3 hours away from Nashville, they were looking for some firms and some talent agencies to suggest talent. And I somehow got in the mix and sent in the tape initially,
Right.
and then went up for a callback.
Oh, wow.
And actually, when I went for the callback, I read for maybe 3 or 4 different roles than the one I ended up booking. But yeah.
Wow. And that was a lot of work, a lot of callbacks, and the part, I mean, it's a solid part, but you're on screen for 45 seconds.
45 seconds. It's beautiful for my reel, but you know,
Yes.
that's all it is. Like everything that's on my reel in that part is what the part was. But it was an amazing experience and really an important film because John Cho is the lead in that film, and you
Right.
know from him from The Harold and Kumar. But that when Kogonada, who was a first-time film director, who had done these amazing like visual concepts videos for like a long time, and all of a sudden decided he wanted to be in film. He wanted John Cho to be the lead, and like nobody would really get behind the project because John Cho was Korean, and so they were like, nobody's going to see some Korean dude be the lead in the film.
It worked fine.
And it worked fine. And really, that film went to Sundance and came out of Sundance as like one of the highest reviewed films of that year at Sundance. But the architecture was certainly like a third lead in the film. It's a very small cast anyway. I think there were like 10 of us
Yes.
in general. But I would definitely say the architecture was like the third lead in that film.
I think they
Beautiful.
made the location part, they wrote it in maybe to show off the architecture.
Yeah, I think so. And again, because Kogonada was a visual artist and had reviewed the arts in that way, he was drawn to the story of an architectural father who's dying and his son who's had zero interest in architecture, and then showing up in this city and developing a love for what his father had loved his whole life.
Sure,
So, yeah.
sure. And you were also in a Lifetime movie.
I was, yeah. It did start out as a Lifetime movie. It's done by these guys who are actually from Spain and have made a lot of films here. Well, in Louisville. That film shot in Louisville. And again, my regional agent submitted me, and I didn't have to do a callback for that. I booked it right off of my tape and had 2 days on set for that one. But we had no idea where it was going to show
really?
up. Like, no clue. Like, we did it, and
It could be in the theater.
it could have
be
been
at
in the
Sundance.
theater. It could have been on
Life-
Netflix. It could have been who. And the title was not the title that I booked it under. So the title of the film, the final title, is Her Worst Nightmare.
And that is a Lifetime title, let's be honest.
It so is. But it actually started out as Trigger Warning. That was what I auditioned for, and that was
Really?
what the project name was. Yeah, when I left set, and then
Trigger Warning.
yeah, exactly.
And that kind of is maybe a Sundance title or something, indie
Yeah,
film.
I think they probably had some hopes for that one.
Yeah.
But the lead, Claire, was amazing, and she was very happy. Finally, we had a chat about it on Instagram. She's like, "I'm glad to see this thing's finally."
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, because that's got to be horrible. You work on something and then it disappears for 2 years. Or 3 years. You're like, where is that film?
Right, and the thing is, like, you worry because as you know, culture changes like so significantly, so quickly that you worry like all the outfits will be outdated by the time the thing finally shows up. The hair is outdated. But we shot that in, I think it was 2017, and it showed in 2018.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Not too bad.
But we shot it in a month. So we shot it in October of 2017.
Oh, wow.
It took until the next year before we saw it, yeah.
So when you're not doing movies and acting, you teach yoga, correct?
I do, yeah. I've been
What is
teaching for 7 years now.
Wow. What was that? What drew you to the yoga?
Well, back when I worked real jobs, in that version of my life, I had a really stressful job. And a friend of mine who's very cynical and kind of not a jerk, but just a very cynical, like, swore by meditation. Like I'm like, it didn't even match his personality that he would care at all about meditating and sitting still. And it was doing it at a studio here called Midtown Yoga at the time. And I was like, oh, I should do that. And I immediately bought like a package from the beginning and had no clue how it was going to turn out. Went to a beginner class, and like from that class, I was hooked. And it took me about a year before it occurred to me that I wanted to teach. But it's a commitment. To teach you need about 9 months for your training.
Sure.
Which actually I didn't do. But you need about 9 months, and I was still working a corporate job then and traveled a lot for work. And so it took me maybe another 7 years before I got a chance to go through my teacher training.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you're teaching.
And now I've been teaching for 7 years. Yeah.
Wow. How many classes do you teach a week?
4 classes.
4 classes.
Yeah. But when I first started teaching what I would consider full-time at that time, I was teaching 9. There was one day I taught 4 classes in a day.
And these are hour-long classes? Or
an hour and 15 minutes.
Hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. But that schedule at the time, my Thursday was, I taught a 6 a.m. class and then an 8 a.m. class. And then I would go home and sleep. And then I taught a 5 p.m. class and a 7 p.m. class.
Wow.
Which was just nuts. Because I demo when I teach, so that essentially means you're doing 9 hours of yoga a week. And it got to be a little bit too much on the body. And then once my acting picked up, which was a choice I made.
Sure.
I need the flexibility, because at any moment somebody could be like, hey, you need to be on set tomorrow. And I didn't want to put my students at a disadvantage where they're always having to miss me. So
right, or
some of those classes,
sure.
substitute. So some of those classes I gave up, but I still have 4 classes a week.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Any projects on the horizon? Any films that you're trying to get made, or you're auditioning for here in Memphis? Any local or?
Let's see. Well, I'm shooting a short film. I've done one short already a couple of weeks ago with Drew Fleming and Lauren Cox. I don't know if I know you know Drew. Called Without a Roof. A very lovely film. Shot in some beautiful locations downtown, and then shooting a film, actually a short this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which I don't think I can say the title yet for.
Fair enough.
But
we'll call it Triggerland.
Yeah.
Or Triggered.
Trigger warning, right? Because it'll be not that by the time it actually shows up. And so I'll be the lead in that one. So we're actually starting rehearsals in a couple of days. But I just booked a feature that is also going to be a TV film, though, that will be shooting in Nashville next month.
Oh, great.
That's about some historic ladies and country music, and so.
Wonderful.
Should be fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That we've got the NBC pilot is filming here.
Yeah.
And I was an extra.
Oh, cool.
I know you didn't hear anything from them, but.
I did not, but I'm excited. I'm always excited because if it gets picked up, then that'll mean more auditions.
22 episodes.
22 episodes, exactly.
Here in Memphis.
That's a big deal.
It's huge for our city if we could get a 22 episode TV show in Memphis that could last 5 to 7 years.
Exactly. No question. It'd be a huge deal.
It would be huge.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Knock on wood.
I know. And several of people I know that are on the crew. Kevin Brooks is on the crew.
I saw Kevin. I went in there. I'm playing a guard. I'm in my little guard outfit, and I go in there and I know all these people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Kevin and Andy, and there's Patrick Durkin, and
several people.
May
on the
Todd
crew.
was in the office.
Yeah, May Todd. Yeah, she was really excited about it as well. So I'm always like, as an actor, like we're used to being at the whim, of someone else's words, and projects, and timing. But it's always great to see crew, even when we can't be there. It's always great that they take advantage of local crew because it's still a job for somebody in Memphis. So I always appreciate.
Well, I was there. I was literally there 12 hours. I did a 5 a.m. call. Yeah. And I probably would not have done it. Had I known it was going to be a 5 a.m. call at the penal farm.
Oh wow!
We were in that original building built during the 30s by the WPA.
Wow. Yeah.
And so I was there 5:30 to 5:30. Got 2 meals, and I'll get, you know, maybe $100 and something.
Extra work is hard
It
work.
It is standing around.
It's a lot of standing around.
Before you get onto the set.
Yeah, exactly. Like even when you are booked as a principal and you have lines, it's a lot of standing around, but it's you're paid more and you get to eat more and
right.
But extra work is like because you don't have the trailer, you're there.
You're just wherever.
You got to be committed.
We were in the gym. We were in the building. I think was built probably in the '80s or early '90s, and it was their gym area. So we got a place to sit, and it was the show had nice. They rented tables, had great food.
Yeah.
But you are just kind of sitting around.
Yeah, it's tough. I commend you, Mark.
Well, I'm glad to help out the local film and TV.
Yeah, exactly.
I was also an extra, and this show should not be about me, but I was an extra in the Brian Banks film.
Oh, okay, and I did that film. I don't know why I didn't say that. Yeah, I got some lines in that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I was from here, maybe even this jacket. I'm holding a microphone, and my arm is in the scene.
Was it like, were you for a reporter?
I was a reporter.
Yeah.
I had a badge on, but I was literally a reporter. And man, holding up that mic.
Yeah.
Because you take it, you shoot a scene over and over again.
Yeah.
And I know that, but man, that mic, it was like, maybe it was a 3-pound mic, but still holding it up that whole time.
Listen, when I did my scene in that, I'm a reporter as well. So we actually asked him questions, and we had to chase him. Like our scene was like he's coming out of his apartment building. We chased him down to the street, which we shot.
Oh wow.
Maybe 5 or 6 times. So we're running in heels and with full reporter gear pack and everything.
Right.
So we had to run in our scene with the mic out to answer our questions. Yeah.
Wow.
But fun. Tom Shadyac was really great too.
Oh,
yeah, to shoot with.
What little us peon extras got to see of him, he was really a nice man.
Yeah, he really was.
They had actually really nice craft services on that.
Yeah.
I mean, just letting you know.
Yeah, exactly. He did very well.
They had good craft services. I did not get a meal. I wasn't there long enough.
Yeah.
But,
I worked for his father actually at St. Jude back in my corporate days.
Oh,
now his brother, of course, is the CEO, but his father was there first.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Richard Shadyac.
I did not know that.
Great, like amazing, a huge, big personality.
Just good people, right?
Ooh, really good person.
Very good, very good. Well, I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you.
For being on the show. I'm going to do a little thing I call Moments with Mark.
Absolutely, I can't wait.
Yes.
I'm waiting with bated breath
I'm
to
glad
hear
one
about
of us is. Hello, and now it's time for Moments with Mark. We have a lot of senseless gun violence in our city, and there are a lot of ways to fight it and combat it. One suggestion I have is to pass out gun safes throughout the city. Just flood our city with gun safes, because too many kids are picking up a gun that's laying on the table that ought to be in a gun safe under the bed, but it's on the bedside table, and they're just playing with it. Put the gun in a gun safe, and it would be you'd be saving lives. And it's still readily available to use. But we have got to get gun safes out there. I mean, Bass Pro, man, y'all ought to just be passing out gun safes not to your shoppers, because some of them don't live in Memphis. I mean, let's help them too, but let's get gun safes. City council people should be passing out gun safes to everyone in their districts. It's just one of the ways we can reduce gun violence, and help stop children playing with guns, is guns are stored in safes. Okay, well, thank you so much for being on the show.
So good to see you.
You bet. All right. Good night, everyone. Support local acting and filmmaking and theater and music. And let's go.
I got some news. Why I'm getting